This daylight savings thing, Daniel. You don't know what it's like.
I don't. And I just pretty much gave away what state I live in. But I don't. I do like not celebrating that holiday. I was late to work.
Yeah, you're late to
A
work
whole hour
anyways.
late. Yeah, working remote. It's
Oh
like, hey, where
no.
you at? I'm like, what are you talking about? I just finished my workout. I'm about to hop in the shower. It's like, you're an hour late. I'm like,
Am I? Oh,
ah,
okay.
nice.
Or am I an hour early?
Earlier. Uh,
Yeah, I heard you have an office now. Another office. I
Doom.
mean, a remote office that's not in your house.
Yeah, I'm still gonna record this one here because I got my setup
The
over
glow
there.
up.
Yeah.
Just kidding.
I still have some stuff I need to put up. I have a few things that I don't have up. I need to get another shelf.
Mm-hmm.
Like right there.
Right there. Yeah.
Put it right
Over
there.
there with the other stuff. Yep.
I've been watching some stuff.
You've been watching what stuff?
I'm gonna go ahead and put a pin in for Apothecary Diaries.
Okay.
Have you seen that one?
Nope.
It's a good
Tell
one.
me all about it.
It's funny. I could see it not being super exciting for a lot of people. There's like no action.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of slice of lifey, but there's a theme strong enough to where it's not just like I'm at school with my friends. Like there's
Mm-hmm.
mysteries and stuff. So the gist of it is this girl gets kidnapped and by these bandits, and she's sold as a servant to the emperor.
Mm-hmm.
And the emperor has 4 concubines, like that are the main concubines that live within like the inner palace.
Mm-hmm.
And this girl, she serves just on the outside of that ring, doing like laundry and cleaning.
Mm-hmm.
Well, like nobody knows this, but she's an apothecary, so she's like really good with herbs. She knows all about poisons. She knows all about.
So she kills everyone.
So she kills everyone practically. she 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 does something that catches the eye of the elites, and so they're like, oh, she'd be really valuable to have.
Mm-hmm.
And so they have her come on as a poison tester, a food poison tester for the emperor and for like the rich people.
Shortest job ever.
I know.
Just
the only here's what's funny, and this isn't really going to spoil anything because you find out very quickly. But for everyone thinking that this is just a really cute, she's an apothecary, loves plants, and is really cute. I think she's an adorable character, but she's not a cute character. She's a little bit of a psychopath.
Okay.
Who loves poisons.
She's sweet, but she's psycho.
Yeah. Like she'll sit there and in doses try to see how much poison her body can take.
Oh.
And then try to find herbs to reverse it.
She's like, I don't have a lot of time. I got to figure this out.
Yeah, she'll like grab snakes and be like, all right, okay. Oh yeah, that feels definitely like, okay, all right, I got to eat this herb, She's like a psycho, but she's nice, but she's crazy. And it's basically about her living in the palace, helping people solve like poison related incidents.
Cool.
But
Sounds
it
interesting.
has some cool stuff. We're caught up. There's 2 more episodes that are going to be released for season 1. We're caught up at this point, so we're waiting. But I did want to put a pin in for that. Worth it.
Okay. Well, I do need to for the next thing. I feel it is necessary to have a moment of silence.
Yes. The modern great and wonderful Akira Toriyama has passed.
Yep. Great man.
The
Has
man
died.
who founded my childhood anime obsessions
Mm-hmm.
with Dragon Ball, Dragon Ball Z.
Yep. Okay. A moment of silence. Thank you.
Sad. It's
Really,
really
really
sad.
sucks.
Yeah. He wasn't that old.
No.
He was in the 60s.
68.
Yeah, 68.
Yeah. I mean, I know that being a mangaka is super stressful. And he was that for a long time. Had a lot of pressure to be successful, and arguably nobody did it better than he did. As long as he did. So all
Yeah.
the other greats very much looked up to him. And yeah, that was like the first I don't know, first long going series that I think I started watching. Dragon Ball and then Dragon Ball Z, of course. I wasn't like super into stuff after that, but it kind of was like the gateway drug to everything else. So,
Yeah. It was.
I'm
Yeah.
I do remember being like super interested and loving the fights with like Frieza and thinking Krillin is pretty lame, uh, and lucky to get a girlfriend that is was an android but became human, and I was freaked out by Cell because I was just like I was pretty young, and it creeped me out that he was like absorbing like humans and stuff through his tail. But you know there were a bunch of them that lived like Krillin's girlfriend. So, but yeah,
Oh yeah.
great storytelling and amazing fights, like the best. So
No, I 100% agree. I remember week after week, going and watching the newest episodes.
last
And
week on Dragon Ball Z.
yeah, and as a kid, even, I still did not like the Spirit Bomb episodes.
Oh my
But
gosh.
I just remember as a kid, like, I loved I loved everything about the show. I remember I just thought it was the Ginyu Force was so funny.
Oh yeah.
Um, Frieza was one of my favorite antagonists. Then eventually, I remember when Majin Buu Saga was coming out,
Oh yeah.
I was
Mm-hmm.
like, "Oh,
Oh
this could be
man.
crazy! Fusion!"
Fusion Ha.
And I just remember with my friends, we Fusion, like just oh man, it was a blast.
Mm-hmm.
I love all the content that he's put out. I can't say that my tastes have changed, but honestly, what he's done and the foundation that he's built, you can see remnants of what he's done in almost every modern anime out there.
Yep.
And it's just insane. So, definitely a sad time I don't know if you've read it, but I read Oda's letter to Akira Toriyama.
Hmm.
That was like a super emotional thing. I was almost tearing up. I was reading it to Sarah, and I was like, oh, my heart.
Yeah, there was several mangakas who wrote letters to him. There was the Bleach creator, um, One Piece creator. Uh, Obviously, so I said One Piece. There's One Punch
Okay.
Man as well. I mean, I'm sure there was a whole bunch of them. Like, there's not really a mangaka out there. I mean, it was just kind of like highlighting um, the biggest mangakas that have ever that are currently out there, and them expressing their feelings on it, and it was nice, um, nice to see, but very sad. Um,
It's
um, so on a less sad note, um, did you see the nod that Solo Leveling put in their episode to Dragon Ball? It was Dragon Ball Z.
maybe I missed it.
It would be easy to miss, and arguably, it could not have been. I There hasn't been like an official confirmation, but you know how before a fight, Goku would like kind of jump back and forth from
Oh,
one foot to the other. I believe that was a nod to like Goku and Dragon Ball Z.
okay. I do remember that.
I was like,
I wonder.
that's a bit odd, and I was like, oh, I think that's what's going on here. So yeah,
Yeah.
they had to have like thrown that together pretty quick too, because it was like like a day or two before, so that news came out.
I wonder. I bet though something will get released about it if that was the case.
Mm-hmm.
But that last episode was pretty crazy that came out.
Yeah,
Um,
I was definitely happy with it. Um, he he I don't remember the name of the guy who was like in, part of the association, but obviously he's a psychopath. He just wants to
the guy
kill
who
people.
the purple hair Megumin.
Yeah, yeah, that's a good way to put it. Um, he obviously just took that job so he could kill people and just had an excuse. But
Well,
it was the first time he like shows his real power to someone else, and I really like that they. I didn't like that guy died, that wanted to apologize to him. Um, it would have been nice if he was just like, I knew it was gonna happen, but still, I was like, I wish he could apologize and then feel a little bit better and go back to his family. Um, but it was kind of like his dying words, and it was more meaningful that way, so it had to happen.
how terrible for his wife that he's the last one he almost died, and she's like, "Oh man, do we
I
need the
don't
money that
know.
much?" And he's like, "It's okay. That was a really weird
It was a
situation." And then he
fluke.
dies in the
Yep.
next one.
Ah, crap.
Ugh.
I was wrong.
Honestly, I thought the association was really dumb because they're like, all right, we're gonna have these criminals go in there with you, right? Because we're short on people.
Mm-hmm.
But in my mind, I'm thinking, then why would they have a B level person babysitting those three people? Why not just have the B level go with the D and E level and the B level healer? like, like, it just didn't make any sense to me. And then, what another thing that didn't make sense to me is,
For the plot.
so
I
he
don't.
kills the criminals, right? And then
Mm-hmm.
those other people walk in on him, and he kills them, and then
Mm-hmm.
they walk in. I'm like, he had a good story there. He could have said, the criminals jumped these guys, killed them. I jumped in and killed the criminals, and here we are. You know, like he had an easy out. He was just like, nope, I want to kill everyone now. It's like,
Yep.
oh man, you could have prolonged.
That's the kind of attitude that's like, I'm throwing caution to the wind. I'm expecting to get caught. So
Yeah,
it wasn't. I mean, they did say it's like, oh, I had a bad feeling about that guy. So that takes care of that.
for someone wanting to keep a low profile, Sung is not keeping a low profile at all.
No.
He's part of every mission that goes wrong.
Yep.
So he's just that common denominator that he wants to not be known, and people are taking falls for him, which is pretty cool, but at the same time, it's like, you gotta realize eventually that um, you're kind of kind of failing at being discreet.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, that who knows though? Maybe there are lots of crazy things going on in other dungeons.
That's true. That's true.
So it's somewhat masked by all the other incidents going on. I don't know. But yeah, no, at least initially, even when I was reading the manhwa, I was like, oh, this is not going to last long. He's like, everybody's going to find out. And it lasts longer than I anticipated it would. But he he does a pretty good job of hiding it. It's just like he's it's mostly like there's like a red gate that he goes through soon. And he I don't want to spoil things, so
Then don't
I
spoil
know it's hard,
things.
but no, I think he does an okay job of hiding it, at least initially. Just because he's like, I'm. It's kind of like Eminence in Shadow, where he's like, oh, I'm a background character, and he just doesn't really do that great of a job of being a background character, but because he's so powerful. So
Yeah,
yeah,
I just
not quite
love.
as um I don't know, funny and silly as Eminence in Shadow is for sure, but
Yeah, I just love. I mean, just not to change the subject too hard, but when they take over the school and he jumps in front of the bullet, not because he wants to save the girl, but because it's the most side character thing ever to get shot first.
yes, that was the best. He's like, no, it has to be me.
But then it backfires because he saves the girl, and she's like super grateful. And
Uh-huh.
I that show, I'll be honest, as far as like plot and everything, I didn't think it was like super unique or crazy.
Not
But
deep.
the humor and the uniqueness of the situations,
Mm-hmm.
just like when he's repeating everything that one girl said, it's like the horde is coming or whatever.
Yeah,
It begins soon.
the frenzy is starting soon.
He just copies it, says it to everyone.
He's like, I heard that from some guy. Now I'm just gonna say it, repeat it to everyone. No, the
Uh,
that is it's not, the plot is not deep, but that's one of those that you don't really care because it's funny. And
yeah.
it's funny, and you like how overpowered he is, and um yeah, it's like all these people that are looking up to him and think he's so amazing, and he's kind of a doofus in some ways. So
Yeah. No, that's a good one. I need to finish the what's out currently. I'm in
mhm,
the middle of a lot of shows right now, and I'm trying to get caught up on them.
mhm.
Kind of struggling there, but that's okay. I'm finishing them off one at a time.
Finish him.
So,
I
so I guess jumping into the other big event is the newest chapter of One Piece.
One Piece on Egghead Island.
Yeah, crap just hit the fan.
Mm-hmm. No, yeah, that ending is, spoiler alert.
Yeah,
I don't know how
spoilers.
he's gonna handle that. Like all those elders, man.
Yeah, it it's tough, but what I feel like it's kind of setting it up for, just in my opinion, is the eradication of that. Because if you think about it, the five elder stars were always seen as like this power that we never knew what they could do.
Mm-hmm.
They were always just like these almost deities on top of Marjwa, and like obviously we're really underwhelmed with Saint Saturn. I think in the beginning we were like, "Holy cow, that guy's head just blew up by looking at him."
Mm-hmm.
Sanji took a hit to the face. Oh my gosh, like no one can land a punch, and if they do, it didn't do anything. But then really quick, he's getting turned into pizza dough. He's getting grabbed in the face, slammed, punched, and he's actually showing that maybe his power is strong against people who aren't that strong.
Maybe. I mean, I don't know. He seemed to be. I mean, Sanji's. You'll see what you want about him, but he is pretty powerful. Um, and he wasn't affected as much, I suppose, as everyone else. But um, I don't know. Stella's definitely dead, unfortunately.
Yeah, which is kind of interesting. I think some other YouTubers have pointed out too that Stella, Shaka, and was it what's his name? The other guy in the video, the other
Pythagoras.
satellite, Pythagoras.
Mm-hmm.
They're the three that are dead, and those are the three that are in the video.
Yep.
Like that got pointed out a few times, and I thought that's interesting. I wonder if it was all when all three of them die, or if that was just
They're
coincidence.
just so
But
smart. They knew they were going to be the ones that died.
yeah,
I don't know.
probably. No, there's good theories circulating about this chapter though, and I think that they're pretty fun to think about.
Mm-hmm.
Um, my theory is kind of circling back to it that all five Elder Stars are going to be eradicated right now
Oh, really? Why?
because we're getting close to the end, and I don't think they're a player in this. I think they're
Why?
kind of a big piece, and I
Mm-hmm.
know that sounds crazy, but if you think about it, you have a lot of big players to fight against right now. Like the to get to
The,
Raftel and
all the
everything,
Blackbeard pirates.
Blackbeard is going to be probably the biggest fight.
Mm-hmm.
And if the five Elder Stars are hanging over everyone as like an unknown power all this time, it's going to be difficult. I think Emu is going to be someone who's going to be really powerful no matter what.
Yep.
Um, but I think that something's going to happen and they're going to be in trouble.
I don't I don't disagree with you on the point that Blackbeard is going to be kind of the end game baddie. Just because like their fates have kind of been, opposite of each other. Um, Luffy wants everyone to be free, and Blackbeard just wants to be king of the world, you know. And there is apparently somebody who sits on the throne, Emu, as king, but or ruler of the world, behind the scenes. But I do feel like they're gonna end up taking Emu out, and then they're gonna end up having to go up against Blackbeard in the end. But
But I think it's the Who. Who is going to take Emu out?
mm-hmm.
It's probably. I don't think Luffy's going to take Emu out.
Oh,
Maybe I'm wrong. But you know the other key player that hasn't done jack squat this entire show?
Dragon.
Dragon, who is the Revolutionary Army leader who is directly against Emu. Luffy's not directly against Emu.
Yeah.
Like, Dragon is. I could see Dragon going up against him and maybe winning or hurting him or something. And Luffy's main thing is Shanks and Blackbeard. I don't think necessarily Shanks will try to kill Luffy, but I think that he's still going to be an obstacle in some way. I mean, Shanks still has goals.
Mm-hmm.
Blackbeard is going to be the biggest adversary.
Yeah.
And so, all theories. But Dragon has got to do something.
Oh my
Like,
gosh.
he doesn't do anything, ever.
Deadbeat Dragon.
Like, I
Deadbeat Dad
thought
Dragon.
they had every opportunity in this last flashback to give him some cool things that he's done. And he didn't do anything.
I'm just gonna sit here and ponder.
That's all he does.
And
Kind of drives
flashback
me
about me
up the wall.
pondering.
I thought he was going to be kind of a shadowy assisting character when I was in the early stages of One Piece.
Mm-hmm.
Almost like a tuxedo mask, if you will.
Ah.
Showing up randomly to like help out a little bit at the end.
Yeah.
But no, he like did the thing. He saved Luffy real quick. Never again.
My work here as a father is done.
Done.
He almost died so many other times, but I saved him that one time.
That one time.
That was me. You're welcome. It's like that Hawkeye SNL.
Oh.
It's like thousands of enemies here. And I killed 11 of them. You're welcome.
You're welcome.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Oh,
No. I don't know.
I'm definitely curious about the news that is going to come out, and if the elders are going to be able to do anything about it at all. I don't feel like they realistically can do a lot, because they're like piggybacking off of all of the Marines' ships, to get the broadcast out there. So they'd have to like destroy their own ships, which they could do that.
Yeah.
They're not really stand up people or whatever they are. But I definitely don't think, like, people are saying, oh well, he's gonna die, what's gonna happen until all of that knowledge. Like, there's the other satellites, they're gonna be there, they're not dead, and they have the knowledge is spread about all of them, and the only difference is their personalities. So
Yeah.
I'm not really worried about that piece of it. So
What do you think about the theory that maybe one of the satellites would join the crew?
Uh, I I mean, who?
Honestly, if I had to choose, it would be Atlas.
Yeah.
I like Atlas.
Uh,
Maybe even
I
Lilith, just to add a little bit of like spice because she's the evil one.
yeah.
But she's not really in a lot of it enough. Atlas has kind of just been around Frankie a lot during this whole encounter, but usually
Mhm.
if they're going to join the crew, they do a lot of like one-on-one with them, and they kind of develop that character a little more. They're kind of prominent, more prominent than just basic.
Yeah, there's not a deep relationship going on there. I feel like I'm still currently, if anybody joins, I'm in the boat that it's going to be Bonnie. So I still think Bonnie's either going to come with them because that's like been her dream. You know, she's not that old, but it's been her dream for a little bit.
Enough.
um, a long time for, compared to how long she's been alive. Um, either that or, I mean, Kuma isn't dead, right?
I don't think he's dead. No,
They
he's
could
definitely pretty
totally
messed
take
up.
him and just re-cyborg him up. He's not dead, right? Like if
Yeah, as
his
long as they
body
have
is,
one of the satellites there, they should be able to repair him.
yeah. So I used to think that there are two directions that was going to go. It was either Bonnie was going to join the crew, or she was going to go and chill with the giants because that would
with
be
with probably
pretty
Kuma.
safe.
Yeah,
Um, but now I'm thinking, okay, if they can fix up Kuma, she'll stay with Kuma because I think she wants that more than she wants to follow Nika. If she had to choose, obviously.
yeah,
And they'll go and do whatever, whether they stay with the Giants or something else. Go with the Revolutionary Army, something. So yeah, I would say the Revolutionary Army is the third thing with Kuma. So
yeah. Then they can go
options,
sit. Then they can go to sit at that table and talk about stuff while the world goes to crap. That
yeah,
table's big enough for a lot of people.
they can take Dragon's spot and tell him to go do his job.
Oda's gonna come out with something later. It's like, Dragon actually did more than anyone. Like him sitting there, he had to maintain focus on his powers across the world to like hold back some great evil.
Yeah, he was pushing that fleet of Marines off to in a different direction so they couldn't get to the island.
That is literally something that
Bunch
it's
of
just like,
crap, Oda. No, people are getting kind of like seriously annoyed. Like I haven't heard so much about it than I have in like the last 2-3 weeks. It's just out of control. So I'm looking forward to getting some answers.
yeah, me too.
But
We're getting to end game here.
mm-hmm.
All five Elder Stars showing up, I think, is a sign that every step, every chapter is going to be one good step to the end.
Mm-hmm.
Because if they really are one of the key players in the story, them showing up right now means that the story is not going to be very much longer.
Yep.
But the other thing that everyone keeps forgetting, and maybe not, but the giant thing is moving.
The giant thing is moving. I would like to find out what that is.
It's something, and it's alive now somehow. So with that, really that thing could pop out of anywhere at any time at this point.
I mean, that may very well be what saves their butts when all the elders get there.
Yeah, for real. So fingers crossed. I don't think we have a chapter this week. We have to wait.
Sadly.
Sadly.
What am I gonna do? Just kidding.
Watch Apothecary Diary.
Yeah, that could be one of the things that I do. I'm watching Rag to Crimson. It's kind of heating up a little bit, I guess. Actually, the wrong way to use healing magic. I like got to a spot that I was like, "Ooh, it's getting good," and then I was left on a cliffhanger. So, I'm actually looking forward to the next episode of that. And then Ninja Kamui. That's going well. It's a lot of murder and
a lot of murder,
a lot of ninja killing. No, but it's a good story, but plenty to do. Anyway, I think that is about all I have time for today. So, next time, oh no,
yeah. Next time we're gonna have some fun. We're gonna do kind of a Q&A panel discussion about different anime topics, and so I'm excited and hope everyone enjoys it. I think this is going to be one too that because we have multiple questions, we're going to try to break up into shorts so that if you don't want to watch the whole thing, you can watch some shorts on it. And there's some TikToks
is that
on
this next time, or is that the time after? Because isn't your wife going to be? Sorry.
No, yeah. So so next time I might have a little quiz game with Jonathan and Tyler, wrangle them in here and see if they really know things about One Piece.
Yeah, all the important things.
All the important
that you
things.
should know about One Piece.
So tune in. It's gonna be fun. It's always good to have Tyler on board. He's a good guy to have on. So yes, join us next time
on the Otaku Podcast.
The Otaku Podcast.
Join us next time on the Otaku Podcast. All right. Bye.
Bye.
涙の色はエメラルドブルー宝石みたいに光ってる流れ星を見上げていたあの夜も